Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a bit different. I'm not necessarily talking about autism, but as I'm autistic, I have an extremely logical brain, analytical brain. Also, as you may know, if you've watched any of the other videos, I've done an awful lot of study on psychology, human behavior, and body language. I've actually done a couple of videos where I've been practicing my body language reading skills. And also, I'm going to be sharing my perspective on a few points. I'll leave the link to the videos I'm reacting to in the description below. So go and check them out. Really interesting channels, fascinating channels, especially if you're into the paranormal. Yeah, I'm going to be reacting to Beardo Gets Scared, Annoyed first. So the history of this is there's a channel called the Paranormal Files and another channel called the Side-Eye Guy, who I will be also reacting to his response to this video. And the Side-Eye Guy and Beardo Gets Scared are both debunkers, and the Paranormal Files is a paranormal channel. Go out doing ghost hunts and stuff like that. They've been debunked a number of times. So yeah, there's been a bit of argy-bargy. I was going to make this video a little while ago, but my computer crashed, so it's been delayed. But first, I want to make it clear that I am a subscriber to Beardo. I think his channel is fantastic. I've certainly learnt an awful lot from his channel. And I have the utmost respect for Beardo. That being said, it doesn't necessarily mean I agree with everything he says. I know he'll disagree with my opinion on this, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. So that all being said, let's get into the video.
This is what this should be about.
Excuse
A
the phone's going
debunker and
over.
a paranormal YouTuber coming together.
What? Oh, shut up.
Now, I don't...
Beardo's Balls and Ghouls. That's the only footage of Ben I'm going to show, because this isn't about Ben. And I'm not really taking a shot at Ben here, but this highlights a big problem with this entire thing with the Paranormal Files. A paranormal investigator and a debunker have come together. Like, this is something special. This is what it's all about. What about when Dandalf did this long before I forgot to sat my fat ass down in front of a camera? What about when Dandalf went to 30 East Drive with the Ouija brothers and did a paranormal investigation at reportedly the most haunted house in the UK as a debunker, working with the paranormal investigation team long before the Side-Eye Guy put a cartoon head on? What about that? What about, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago to the day, this channel turned into a paranormal reaction channel and then into a debunking channel? Ooh, it's a ghost. No, it's not. I've got the air conditioning on, the hose out of the window, and air pressure. The curtain has moved, the door opened. It's not a ghost. But these bullshit con artists, they'd have claimed I was a ghost. It's not. Anyway, 3 years ago, my channel started, and a few months after, I went out with Steve from the Ouija Brothers. Paranormal investigating, a debunker. I've been invited to haunted locations by people as a debunker. This shit's been going on for years. So why is this suddenly more relevant? Because what's happened here is...
Okay, so that there is my first point. Why is this more relevant? It's purely down to the size of the channels. I don't know how many subscribers the Ouija Brothers have got. I know you Beardo, if you watch this, you're on around 50,000, approaching 50,000 subscribers. I think the Paranormal Files has, when I last checked, 1.2 million subscribers. So just purely the size of the channels makes this more relevant and bigger news.
Anyone that uses a DR60 in 2025 is fake.
So what I'm seeing here is obviously Beardo is clearly very, very passionate about the paranormal, which is absolutely fine. Everyone has, or most people have had some sort of unexplainable thing happen in their life that could be paranormal, could be not, but it could be neurology or neuro, to do with the brain. So he's clearly very passionate, and he's clearly quite upset. Also, the title of the video says that he's annoyed, so we're seeing that.
I'm not watching the investigation because it's Colin. He's full of shit. I have no desire to sit there and pull it apart and then try to work out how he's potentially tricked the side-eye guy, or maybe he hasn't. Maybe it's just natural noises that they've misidentified. Maybe it was a ghost. But I'm just going to dismiss it because Colin is a fucking liar.
This brings me to my second point. If you're not going to watch the video, you can't really say that Colin from the Paranormal Files has pulled one over on the side-eye guy. You just can't, because you've not watched it. That's just a standard assumption because of your bias. And we all have bias. Like that's not an insult or anything like that. Clearly, Colin and Beardo have had some sort of interaction that hasn't gone so well, and that in turn creates a bias, and you see that in that clip there. Bias can do a lot of things. It can manipulate your own point of view. It can stop you seeing things that are actually there, or in this case, it will stop you getting the necessary evidence to create a video like this, and you end up making assumptions like that. I have bias. Literally everyone has bias. In fact, every single choice we ever make, there is a certain amount of bias that influences that choice. So that isn't a slate on Beardo, that I'm just highlighting that's human history. He's being human there. But unfortunately, that bias stopped him from watching the video that would have allowed him to see what exactly went on. Bias is a pain in the ass.
End of the night, people who went into this very skeptical came out alive with some absolutely frightening personal encounters.
Is he clickbaiting you? Probably. I don't know, because I'm not watching the investigation. I'm only watching his pieces to camera because the bullshit he spews.
To be fair, he's on YouTube. Every YouTuber, myself included, you, the side-eye guy, literally every YouTuber uses a certain amount of clickbait because you need people to click on your video to watch it. That's literally the entire point of YouTube. That's how you make money. No judgment there. To be fair, I have watched a number of the Paranormal Files videos. I've even reacted to one. There's one in my history. One thing Colin is very good at is his intros, and his production quality is really, really good. And another part of what Colin does is the interviews at the start of his videos, where he gets the people associated to that location to talk, to go around, show him around, and talk about the history of that location. I have used many of those videos to practice my body language. The reason being, as an autistic person, and one of my personal traits is I'm not very good at reading body language. For the last 3 years, I've been practicing body language. I've done a number of courses. I've got umpteen books, all on body language, and I've got an awful lot better, but it's still a work in progress. I can generally read body language from a third person perspective. but if I'm in a conversation, I can't read it. So another one of my traits is being extremely blunt, and I don't really do small talk. I'm very direct. So that can result in me upsetting people or making people angry. And the trouble is because I can't read the cues, the body language, I don't know until they lose their shit at me. So it's a struggle that I face on a daily basis, and it's why I've been doing intensive studies into body language and try and move that knowledge into my subconscious so that that improves. It's working to a degree. I'm a lot better than I used to be, but certainly if I'm in an in-depth conversation, I cannot read body language. But as a third party, like watching a video or listening to two other people speak, I can see the body language really, really well.
So today's episode is really interesting, taking
Probably not.
skeptics, and specifically in one case, a debunker who watches paranormal videos and kind of makes fun of them, ghost hunting, to see if we could experience some of the things with them that we normally do when we shoot our videos. You know, it's really interesting. I've done a number of investigations in the past with skeptics. The way
Have you? You've done ghost.
The trouble with these videos is it can be a bit difficult to see the body language because they're cut, and they're cut a lot. But just as he said that his blink rate did go up, obviously there is no single piece of body language that indicates a lie. That is a complete myth, and it's just not true. What you're looking for is a cluster of behaviors, so 4, 5, 6. You're looking for their normal baseline, which I know Colin's baseline. What you're looking for is changes in that their baseline. And even then, it doesn't necessarily mean they're lying. What these pieces of body language do is shows an increase in stress, which can in turn indicate a higher possibility of them lying. I was watching one of Beardo's live streams, and in the comments there were a number of comments saying about a particular piece of body language that indicates a lie, and that's just not true.
Hunts with the twins and overnight and a bunch of other fakers and bullshitters and con artists.
that I've always felt, and this is just personal, is that if you don't believe in the paranormal or you're not really trying to seek it out, you're not going to have an experience.
Bullshit.
Well, yeah, it could be bullshit, but equally that could be what he believes. So not necessarily bullshit. I know there are many other people that believe the same. I would say he genuinely believes that his illustrators were landing where they should. An illustrator is where you're making hand gestures, and when you're making those hand gestures, your hand should fall where your words land, like mine just did there. Later on in this video, we see where that stops, and you can't say that's bullshit because he could genuinely believe that.
Billy's working overtime today, guys. So allow me to tell you why I think that is bullshit. How many times have you heard the following? I didn't believe in ghosts until. Or, I don't believe in ghosts, but. See where I'm going?
Yeah, you're completely right there. And there is a conflict later on in the video with that particular statement. But belief is a very strange thing. Quite often it can contradict itself within a single person. So, yeah,
We'll go on a little tangent here. This is going to be a long video. Buckle up, kids.
it is going to be a
I
long
was
video.
brought up by two cynics. My dad, as proud as he is of me of having my own business at 44 years of age, does the following. Why are you going to that place? It ain't haunted. Ghosts ain't real, them nuts. And my mum does the following. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. But ghosts ain't real. Idiot. And that's how things go. There's a general bit of mocking. Until a year ago. My dad will still mock. My dad will still say, it ain't real. Grow up. But my mum came to see me, and she sits on the sofa opposite me, randomly turns up at the house, which is strange. Says the following. You debunk ghosts, right? And I say, no, I debunk videos. And she says, oh, well. And then she tells me of her experience. It was a very profound and initially upsetting, but then heartwarming experience for my mum. And then she says, how do you debunk that? And I said the following. I can't. I wasn't there. There's no video evidence. There's no sound. There's no recording. Nothing. You have had a very profound experience. I'm not going to take that from you. And I don't know another debunker that would take that from you. If it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy down in your tum-tum, mum, you're allowed that. And don't let anyone tell you any different. Kind of the way most of the debunkers work. If you...
And I 100% agree. So there is nothing suspicious about Beardo's body language there. That comes across as a completely true story, as I would expect from Beardo. There was a cut just as he started a shoulder shrug. That was a sign of resignation, of he wasn't able to help in that particular situation. It's a sign of sort of helplessness, if you want, or resignation. But what he says here is 100% true. If you've had an experience that you can't explain and it's heartwarming for you, you're getting something from that, you should never let anyone take that from you. Absolutely never, because it's personal to you. And if you're getting something from it, that's wonderful. That truly is wonderful for you.
are sat in your home and you're at your lowest ebb, and then you smell your mum, your dad, your auntie, or there's a little something that makes you think, hey, I'm pretty sure that they're with us, or you see them. Don't let anyone tell you that didn't happen. If you're terrified in your own house, then reach out to somebody reputable. But yeah, if you have a pleasant experience, something life-changing, life-affirming, makes you feel better, you're allowed that. But most of those people didn't believe. So don't...
Yeah, he's again absolutely right. Of course, you are allowed that, and you should not let anyone take that from you. You shouldn't even try to let someone take that from you. Don't try and debunk it. Accept it for what it is. Accept that you've had that experience, and go on with your life happy that you've had that experience.
Give me this whole shit.
When he examined one of the devices that was going off and the whole crew was freaked, even when he examined this device and determined that he couldn't provide an explanation for what happened, he just claimed that the device was malfunctioning. Literally, I'm not kidding. He just...
And that is every bit as wrong as lying about ghosts. To throw wild stabs in the dark debunking is every bit as bad as the people that fake. You can say, I think that it could be this, it could be that, but you can't just say, oh, that's a rat in the wall without any proof. So I go to an apparent haunted farmhouse with Exploring the Entity, and I hear what sounds like somebody walking across the floor towards me, stopping and then tapping the floor under me. And I'm like, that's a bit fucking weird. I'm a little bit freaked out. But skeptic head on, logical head on, it could be a rat. Hey, there's a floorboard loose over there. Let's pull that up. You're not going to see a rat if you pull the floorboard up, are you? No, probably not. It'll scurry off. But what I will see is rat drop-ins. And if I see rat drop-ins in the house or under the floorboards, it's a rat. I pulled floorboards. I moved stuff about. I found no signs of rat drop-ins. I couldn't smell rat urine. And I'm like, it's kind of unexplained. I don't think it's a rat. But I also didn't jump immediately to, it's a ghost. It's just an honest, logic way to work. Simple as that. And Colin is spinning this narrative that the bunkers are just like, doesn't exist, ghosts ain't real, blah, 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 blah. Colin clearly doesn't pay attention because, went to that care home and had a very weird experience where it appeared that an old lady shushed me at bedtime. Like it annoyed a ghost.
Sad.
To be fair, I'm not getting that from Colin. So, yeah, obviously everyone has different perspectives, and our own perspectives, again, are formed by our history and our own personal experiences. But personally, I'm not getting that from Colin.
If you're skeptical and you want to experience the paranormal, my biggest advice would be to just go somewhere with the intention of making contact with something or someone, or at least just be open to what you might experience.
Now, I know for a fact Mythos does that. I know 100% for a fact that I do that. Now, you wouldn't know that, Colin, but in fact, nobody knows it. But I'll share this. It's quite a personal thing to me. When I go to a haunted location, either in my car just before I get out and start unloading my gear, or when I've just got into a location, I will take myself off for 5 minutes and I will do the following. I will talk to my best friend that is no longer with me, and I'll talk to my grandparents that are no longer with me, the people I was closest to that are not with me, and I will have a...
So while he's talking here, he's just at the bottom of the screen. He is moving his hands. There's a single shoulder shrug there. That's showing a raising stress. It doesn't necessarily mean he's lying. I think this is quite a personal story to him, and I would go as far as to say, although he shares this on a video, he's not overly comfortable with sharing this because it's personal to him, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly understandable.
conversation that goes something along the lines of, if you guys can help me, tonight's the night, please. Maybe you can't speak to me, but maybe you could give somebody a nudge that can.
So he's also turtling there. He's adapting with his hands. His hands are very active. So yeah, I don't think he's overly comfortable sharing this particular story.
Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but I have a little quiet conversation with people that I love that are no longer with me to see if they can help me out a bit. So I can capture it on camera for clicks and views? No. So I know that I wasn't mental when I was a kid. True story.
Because from my 10 plus years of investigating, if you sit there and every single time something happens, you're immediately just explaining it away, I don't know what to tell you. The whole night is going to go nowhere. The vibes and the energy that you put out into the environment matter just as much as what you're picking up on in the environment. So if you're going in there with the energy of, yeah, this is all just bullshit and I don't believe in anything, well, I feel personally that whatever's there or whatever these energies are isn't going to want to come speak with you or interact with you or...
So yes and no. Obviously, this goes back to your own personal biases again. If you go to a location on a ghost hunt and you're adamant that it's bullshit and it's all fake and all the rest of it, which is your own belief, you can't be judged for that, then yes, it could very well stop you from experiencing anything. That isn't to say that it affects the energies or anything around there. It's your own neurology that's preventing you from seeing that, and yeah, that can affect your experience. Let's see what Beardo has to say.
He's got some points, but I mildly disagree with a lot of it because I don't know anyone that does that. Maybe Dandalf does. Maybe Dandalf's very cynical as well. But I know Dandalf has gone places and tried to get into that mindset where you try to trick your mind into believing to see if something happens. I have gone in the last 2 years to numerous events with people, and I have gone all in with their experiments, with their mindset. Recently, I went to the George Jarvis School, and I am stood in a circle with a bunch of believers holding hands with them while they are saying stuff about close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out, deep in, deep out. Imagine a light radiating from the top of your head, and then they start talking.
So back there, what he was saying there, they were saying, I've done a lot of study in hypnosis and NLP and various forms of therapies, and what I'm seeing there is if they were the words that they were using and that was the line they were taking, what they were actually doing is trying to use a form of conversational hypnosis to increase the power of suggestion. This is how a lot of mediums work, and a lot of psychics, supposed psychics, work. They use a mix of cold reading and they use the power of suggestion. And from the words Beardo was saying there, that sounds very much like they were trying to use the power of suggestion, which is incredibly powerful.
Into the spirits about respect, and I didn't mock them. Didn't go, this is stupid. I did everything they did. And I did everything they did with the express intention. I went there with every intention of not. I had the option to go off and do my own thing at the George Jarvis School. And I'm like, I do that everywhere I go. I go off and I do my own thing, and then I get bored, and then nothing happens. So this time, what if I actually just stick with the event company, not to debunk them, not to call them out on their bullshit, literally full in, let's see if I can have an experience. I didn't. Fuck all happened. But I was in. I was invested. I was like, tonight I am a full-blown believer. Come at me, ghosts. And I'm sat there. I didn't even record. I don't think there's much footage of me holding the camera at myself. I'm just recording everything, hoping and praying that something walks past the camera, that something gets thrown, that I capture a voice, that something profound happens. And it didn't. But I was in the right mindset. And I'm mostly always in the right mindset, but I have common sense and logic. That night, I threw common sense and logic to the side. Oh, fuck off, common sense and logic. You're not wanted tonight. Nothing happened. I told you this.
So the trouble with that is your own personal beliefs. And unfortunately, yes, you can consciously say, I'm full into this, and I'm going to do whatever they're doing. Right. The bit that doesn't work there is your own beliefs are rooted in your subconscious, and they're formed by your experiences through your life. So, as a debunker, someone who sees a lot of fakery and a lot of bullshit, as you say, that will also form part of your belief system. Yes, you say you've had things happen that you can't explain. So, quite clearly, you do believe that the paranormal can exist, but your belief system, when it comes to investigators, naturally falls on the skeptical side. And you cannot change that unless an experience that you have that you can't debunk changes it. So you can go to an investigation with an investigation team. You can say to yourself, all you like, I'm going to be full in on this. I'm going to do everything they say and all, like everything you've just said there. But the underlying belief system that you have in your own subconscious will always be there. So it doesn't matter if consciously you say, right, I'm a believer today, right? And you can convince yourself as much as you like, I'm a believer today, I'm all in. But you won't be, because in your subconscious, your beliefs are there. And that will always overpower what you consciously think. Trying to force those beliefs out of your mind, yes, you can force them out of your conscious mind, but you can't force them out of your subconscious mind because they are your beliefs.
was going to be a long video.
Even show itself around you. We don't understand the paranormal. I don't claim to.
You use a DR60, you understand fuck and all. And again, this is a faker. DR60. Broken piece of equipment. It's in this video. He uses a DR60. It's a broken bit of equipment. This unshielded microphone, blah, 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 the usual. If you spend $3,000 or $1,000 on a broken bit of kit to give you false positives and then put that out as a ghost talk to me, don't tell me, oh, I've never claimed that it's a ghost. Go look at his thumbnails and his titles. He's claiming it constantly. Bullshit.
At all.
Now, I don't know about the DR60. I've heard mixed reviews on it. But when it comes to the paranormal investigation equipment itself, I've used many items, not many, but a few items from it in paranormal investigations myself. Videos are also in my library. Those videos were recorded before I fully understood what can trigger those devices. And from what I gather, most of, if not all of those devices have been debunked, including mobile phone apps and stuff like this. Now, mobile phone apps I was skeptical about anyway. But just because an item has been debunked and shows that other things can set it off, doesn't mean that you can't use them. I'm not talking about the DR60 here because I don't know anything about it. I think the important thing is if you are using these pieces of equipment and they go off, you need to ask, why is that going off? Is there something tangible that's making this go off, like your mobile phone ringing, getting a text, if you're wearing an Apple Watch, or anything around that can possibly set it off? If the answer is yes, then it's probably that's that set it off. If the answer is no, then why is it going off? And when it comes to the mobile phone apps, and bear in mind, very little is known about the paranormal because it can't be proved either way. It's thought that ghosts or spirits are the electrical echo of the person who was there, who was living. There is nothing to say that that electrical energy can't manipulate a mobile phone or an app to get the words. But the apps themselves are computer generated programs with word banks. So they are designed to spit out random words. So what I would say with the use of apps is, if you're going to use them, fine, use them. But what you're looking for is context. So if you ask for a name and straight away it gives you a name, that's in context. Take a little bit of notice of that. If you ask for a name and it gives you something completely different, that's the app's program doing what it's designed to do. So I think with all of these items that paranormal investigators or ghost hunters use, what you're looking for is context. Is there something else that can set this off? Does that make sense with what I've just asked?
If someone does, my best advice, turn around and run the other way, because nobody knows at the end of the day anything about what we're documenting
Why would you run away? A fucking mind seed, is it?
here on this channel, on all these other channels, throughout different paranormal, research studies and experiments that have been done across the world. No one really understands what this is because it's all subjective.
Wiley has a point. This isn't me saying, haha, Colin, fuck you, science. But Colin, fuck you, science. Through all of the tests and all of the data from people far smarter than any YouTuber, there's no such thing as ghosts.
I'm sorry, Beardo, but you are 100% wrong on that. Science is designed to ask questions, test things, and so on. just because they haven't got any evidence of the paranormal does not mean the paranormal exists, and that has not proved that there's no such thing as ghosts. What that proves is they haven't got the evidence to show that they exist. The whole point of science is to ask questions and constantly test. They don't stop testing. They're always testing, even with things that they've proven to be accurate and right. They're still testing. They're still advancing. So just because we don't have the scientific capability to detect ghosts as it stands now, science has not proven that ghosts don't exist. Science has just not found any evidence that they exist. Every single thing we currently use, from your TV to aeroplanes, at one point in history didn't exist. And there was no proof of them being able to be in existence. So, but as science progresses, and it continues to progress, better techniques, better equipment, and so on, have gradually proved that these things can exist, and we have them. So when it comes to the paranormal and science, yes, science hasn't found any evidence that ghosts exist, but it certainly has not proved that it doesn't exist.
According to science, every test that has ever been done, there's no such thing. There are no UFOs, there are no ghosts.
And you're wrong on the UFOs. So what does UFO stand for? Unidentified flying object. That doesn't necessarily mean alien. What a UFO is something that's been either seen or detected on radar that they can't find. That is a UFO, the true definition of a UFO, because they haven't been able to identify what that thing was. When it comes to aliens themselves, you've got to look at the universe as a whole. Every single star you see has planets around it. Space goes on for infinite amount of miles, and for me, it's really naive to think that this little planet Earth that we're on, in this little tiny speck of space, is the only planet that has life on it. Has life from other planets visited Earth? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, for me, just the law of averages says that with that many stars and that many suns, which is what a star is, with that many planets, that this is the only one that has life on it. It's statistically improbable.
There's nothing. You live, you die, end of story. I don't subscribe to that. I have a belief system, but I am fully aware that science just trumps my belief system. So you got.
So everyone has their belief system. I have my own belief system that actually uses science to a degree. So yeah, absolutely, everyone has their own belief system, and science hasn't proven what comes after death. It hasn't proven that there's nothing, because that's not what science does. It just hasn't found evidence of what happens after death.
A point, but no.
Now, I do want to state that I am not going to be giving my thoughts on certain communities here on YouTube in this video. This has nothing to do with that.
So you see there where he's illustrating with his hands, they were very, very off, very off. So something's going on there, I think.
Next.
I don't know if I got a lot of it on camera or not, but Dawson was asking tons of questions, trying to debunk devices, saying
How dare he use logic and common sense? Unheard of in this field.
he didn't believe in this and he doesn't want to use this, and he thinks this person told him that this isn't legit, so we're not going to use this. He didn't, necessarily really believe in Estes to a degree.
Because it's garbage, especially when it's you, and we all know you can fucking hear everything.
Or the DR.
To be fair, I'm a little bit fascinated by the Estes method. When you see it on a video, you always have that question of, can they actually hear what you're saying? Now, for those of you that don't know, the Estes method is someone puts some noise cancelling headphones on, or supposed noise cancelling headphones on, and plug them into a spirit box, I think it is. I'll call it a spirit box. It's a little handheld. I do have one. I can't remember what it's called. And that goes through radio stations. The best way to do it is to have it scan really, really quickly. And the idea is that you pick up words, and that in turn is answering the question that's just been asked. Is it effective? I don't know. Is it true? I don't know. But it's fascinating to watch. And for me, it would be better if I saw it in person and I knew that the person with the headphones on is in another room, or a soundproof room. And then it would be interesting to see the questions and what answers they gave without the cuts, because there's the trouble with YouTube videos is there's so many cuts. It's next to impossible to see if the word that the person with the headphones on says is actually connected with the question that's been asked.
Tonight, if every time something's happening, you're finding a rational explanation, even if you don't know that that explanation is actually what happened, the activity levels, in my opinion, are going to drop down significantly. And you kind of just saw that because that
home I went to with Exploring the Entity, where I went in there very cynical, very like, yeah, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of experience here. I hope I experienced something, but it's probably all bull caca. Then I go off and have my little conversation with my lost loved ones, and then a door bangs in front of me, like somebody hit it from the inside. It's a bit strange. I damn near shat my pants. But then I'm like, right, let's work this out. Let's have a look. Let's see. And by Jove, I've got no explanation for this. That was pretty weird. Less than an hour later, are we keeping you awake at bedtime? Shh, in my ear. The fuck? What did you hear, Beardo? I think somebody just shushed me as you said, go to bed. That freaked me out a bit. I can't wait to play this back in editing and it not be picked up, and then what it sounds like, instead of just a shush, is go to sleep. Now, the audio on its own is a bit garbled, a bit, Can we rely on that? Not really, not on its own merit, but as a debunker, as a skeptic, that...
Again, he's very fidgety here. So it sort of suggests he's not comfortable sharing that particular story. Maybe he's got a bit of a fear of judgment, or I don't know, but there's certainly something going on there. I'm not saying that story isn't true, quite the opposite. But his internal feelings on that, interesting.
Heard it in real time with my own ears, almost like somebody right next.
Maybe because he's a debunker, sharing stories like that, he may have a fear of reducing his credibility as a debunker. He may have a fear of judgment, and he may be judging himself for it. It's something that he can't explain, so he may feel uncomfortable with the fact that he can't explain it, because as he said, he's got a logical brain. He looks for possible ways of these things actually happening.
He said, shh, and then a device has captured it. Holy shit. So it's quite profound. But I tried to debunk it. I'm walking through the building and pushing doors. I'm like, there's somebody here. There's got to be somebody here. So at that point, when my skeptical, rational brain takes over, I should kill the paranormal flat. The ghost should stop now because I'm being skeptical and logical. We go upstairs. Could you copy me? Knock, knock. Something's just knocked back. The same over there. Do it again. It's done it again. I'm a debunker. I'm not having this. This is impossible. It's an echo.
So he's, as he's saying this, saying that he's a debunker. His arms have come out. He's taking up space. He's making himself more dominant in the frame. I think this was an unsettling moment for him. There was a slight shoulder shrug there of resignation that he couldn't debunk it. But the fact that he's taking up space, he's showing how dominant he is a challenge to for anyone to say or judge him on that. This suggests to me that experience was really real. He was certainly uncomfortable with it, and now he's giving a challenge for someone to challenge him on it.
I'm going to go stand in that room. Do it again. Knock, knock. Shit. It didn't happen. Knock, knock. Knock, knock in the room while I'm stood there. Like, that's not an echo. Something's just hit the wall. Could it be that it was a rat? Possible, but there was no smell of rat urine. The place was clean. The place was tidy. It wasn't in disrepair. That was really cool. But I have been trying to actively debunk things, but things keep happening. So all of this, no, don't agree with any of it.
It was a very, very dead night. And I've released tons of videos in the past where nothing happens. There have been videos that I haven't released because literally nothing happened and it was incredibly boring.
It's like the go-to default in it. Oh, I record loads of stuff. I just don't put it out because nothing happened. If the legitimate channels did that, well, the Ouija Brothers would probably have 3 videos. Ghosts on Trent would only have 2. DPI, I don't know if they'd have a video at all. That's how the real paranormal works.
And I just,
To be fair, Beardo, I don't think that's so much the paranormal. So, and you'll get this because you've got quite a sizable channel as well. My main channel, I get it a little bit, which is nowhere near as big. But for a channel the size of the Paranormal Files, I think that the creator comes under a certain amount of pressure to keep to their schedule. So they need to provide a video that's going to be watched, and I can see how a channel like the Paranormal Files would be under that pressure to make things happen, as it were, because they've got a huge fan base, and they need to stay consistent with that fan base. Otherwise, and I've seen this with other channels. If they don't manage to upload a video, they feel like they've let their community down. So personally, I wouldn't judge him on that aspect of it. Yes, I do think that you shouldn't fake stuff in the paranormal unless you're making an entertainment channel or an entertainment video, which I don't know what the Paranormal's Files have got their videos listed under, whether it's entertainment or I wouldn't have thought it's education. I would imagine it's listed under entertainment. As such, yeah, I can understand why they feel the pressure that they've got to produce content for their schedule.
decided, people were going to hate this video. So we do experience nights like those a lot in the paranormal. But I do think that it all...
No, we do. You don't. That the R60 saves the day. Go.
To be fair, okay, I'll take your narrative that the Paranormal Files fake a lot of stuff. But that doesn't mean to say they don't get genuine experiences like you said you have yourself. It just means that they're trying to make the videos as entertaining as possible for their community. Um, have they experienced and captured anything genuine? I don't know.
I just want to state here, I do not stand for slander, bullying, harassment.
And nobody has done any of those things to you, Colin. You have been called out for lying in your videos. That is not slanderous. That is not bullying. You can suck my ass.
None of
To be fair there, Beardo, like, I know you're taking it as a direct attack on you and the debunkers, but you'll know from your own comment section, and I certainly get it in mine. There are people on the internet that are just vile. They think that because they're online and they can't be seen, that they can say whatever they like. So with this particularly, I 100% agree with him. The slander, the bullying, the nasty comments, it's completely unacceptable. And yeah, I support him in his stance on that. He may not just be talking about you or other debunkers here. He could very well also be talking about comments in his comment section.
those things as it pertains to certain communities and videos that are created in
He's talking about us. Me. You watching this. That's who he's talking about there. Get the side-eye guy's face on camera for a little bit and then take shots of the community sat in your studio so the side-eye guy is unaware that you're doing it.
To be fair, he could be talking about some of your community. He could be talking about people in the debunking community. And as you have seen on previous videos, some of the debunking community and the paranormal community can be truly vile. They're not exempt from what I said previously. I get it on my main channel, which has nothing to do with the paranormal files. So yeah, he may or may not be talking about the debunking community, but I think he's talking about specific comments, which I'd imagine he gets a lot of vile comments. So that's how I take that.
You horrible, horrible little man. Slander. Bully. Talk to me, ghost. Ooh, look. Ghost voice. Why, that there is a DR60. That doesn't work. I'm being bullied, man. Dude, bro. With the greatest of respect. Fuck off.
posted about other creators, including myself and everyone who I'm friends with on YouTube. So
I'm not going to go down this route. This is your second stab at the community, dickhead. You have absolutely pulled the community's pants down on your side, my side, and you've pulled the side-eye guy's pants down here. And this is the exact reason why I will never ever work with a fucking faker, because of this bullshit.
So again, I disagree. I don't think he's doing anything towards the side-eye guy here. And if anything, this is the exact reason why you should work with channels like this. If, say, for instance, you went and done a video with Colin and you aired everything that you need to air and so on, and then he done this, because it's directly related to you, you would very easily be able to do a video like this and have your say and call him out on it. So yeah, I personally think that this is exactly the reason why you should do a collab with the Paranormal Files if invited again.
If the side-eye guy feels the same, I don't care if the side-eye guy feels the same. My thoughts on it is this. If he had never worked with this guy, this shit wouldn't have happened. And if people are going to come at me in the comment section, whatever. I genuinely don't give a fuck. This clown has weaponized working with the side-eye guy against this community.
I just don't see that. I just don't see it. What I see here in relation to that is he's made a video and he wants people to watch the video. I don't see that he's weaponizing anything towards a side-eye guy. Nothing at all. I'm just not seeing it.
Absolute prick.
So I see things differently than a lot of people, and I just want to make that very, very clear, because there are a lot of things in the videos that people have made about me that they've gotten very incorrect, not only just conceptually, but actually with like data and footage that I have in my possession that I could release to make people look stupid. So
Release it then. Make us look stupid, please. Please do it. Because here's the thing, see, Colin. If you are capable of doing that, if you could make us look stupid, we could learn from it instead of you just taking these cheap shots. But now what you're going to do is you're going to watch this video and be like, see, man, that debunker, man, he bullied me, man. I'm doing the exact same thing you have done in this video. The only difference is I'm probably going to piss off some of my own community by being honest.
To be fair, he's got a fair point there. If Colin's got that footage, then yeah, release it. Make them look stupid. It'd be an interesting video to watch. And it'd be interesting to see how the debunking community deals with that. So yeah, absolutely, I agree. Do it.
that there's a lot of wrongness that goes on, and I don't support that stuff. However,
But you support the Foreman brothers, for example, basically targeting people with substance issues, feeding into the delusions of the house being haunted when the demon has come from a bottle. And this is going to sound really fucking harsh, Colin, but time to put on your big boy pants after you just shit-talked my community. Considering you went to rehab, maybe you were pissed at the wrong people. Just saying. I'm getting so much.
So for me, Beardo, that is the ultimate low blow. Substance abuse, alcoholism is something that I've had a certain amount of experience with, and it's an evil, evil, evil issue. You should never, I don't care how pissed you are with someone, use that against them. You also need to bear in mind that many of your own community, many of the people that watch your own videos may well suffer from alcoholism. And what you're doing there is providing a judgment and your opinion of people that are truly, truly suffering. You should never do that. That is the one of the ultimate low blows. And sorry, but you're out of line using that. You really are.
time like we're gonna go somewhere that's dead, and then of course it's gonna be like, oh, you guys are just adding noises and pulling strings and blah blah blah, yada yada. But we actually had everything. We had bangs, we had shuffling noises, we had what sounded at one point like, I think, like a whistle or a voice, cell block movement, a ton of different things. And then
I wish I could sit through it and watch it, but you annoy the piss out of me. But this,
Beardo, just watch it. Get over your own bias and watch it. If you're gonna make a judgment on a video, you have to watch it. You can't make a judgment on a video without watching it. It's impossible. That was Beardo's view on it. Obviously, I shared mine during the course of that video. I'm going to get into the Side-Eye Guys video in just a moment. And for me, as I've said right the way through, one, if you're going to make a judgment on a video, you need to watch it. I think that's just a given. Otherwise, all you're doing is making assumptions. And secondly, if you're going to be willing to call out channels for being fake, which clearly you are, they are exactly the channels that you need to, as a debunker, you need to go and work with. If you were to go and work with them, one, they're going to limit how much they fake. and 2, you can debunk as you go, and you can call them out on the things that they're doing. It's only by doing that that a channel like the Paranormal Files is actually going to change their ways. And as I said, if they then try and, in your opinion, weaponize that against you, you've got the footage as well. So you can counter that and give a balanced argument. Unless you go and work with them, you can't do that. It's impossible. So that being said, let's get into what the side-eye guy says about this. So I just want to explain a little bit about the side-eye guy and his channel as a whole. I first come across the side-eye guy a little while ago. I didn't watch his channel, and if there's something that says autism for me more than anything else, or as much as anything else, is when I first clicked onto the first video I ever saw of his. He wears a cartoon mask, as you might have seen in the previous segment, and I took one look at it. I tried to watch it, and I just couldn't. I was like, no, I can't get into this, just purely because of that mask. I can't tell you why. I really can't tell you why, but I just couldn't. And it's only this issue that Beardo, the side-eye guy, and the Paranormal Files have, and I wanted to see what the side-eye guy has to say about it. But I was able to watch it, and somehow I've managed to get over the mask thing. So, and I've been watching a lot of his videos since. So there's no judgment on the side-eye guy. That's just a issue that I had personally, which I find it quite amusing. So. Right, that being said, let's get into it.
Hey, segues.
That's the mark.
Okay, so I've got a few thoughts, and I think we all know what I'm going to be talking.
The trouble is obviously I can't read his body language on his face, so that cuts down how much I can read him. I can see his shoulders, but that's about it. So.
About. I think we've all watched Beardo's video, and yeah, I've got a few things to say.
He is, however, rocking in his chair, which shows a certain amount of discomfort with having to make this video.
I'm going to make this video pretty quickly, so here I am, just like in my little, I don't know what you want to call it, my little studio room. Not really much of a studio, but you know what I mean. First and foremost, this is not going to be an angry video. It's not going to be an angry response video, nothing like that. Honestly, I do think there's been quite a lot of anger put out there lately, and I don't want to add any more into that. I don't really understand where a lot of anger has come from. I understand that Beardo may well not have actually said anything directed towards me in too much of a negative light, but if you just read Beardo's comment section, you don't have to stroll very hard before you see a lot of people kind of having a go at me, or thinking I was fooled, or thinking that Colin took advantage of me. All that.
Which sort of goes to what Colin was saying. That sort of language in the comment section on any video is wholly unacceptable. Every single creator on YouTube or any other platform has the right to make whatever kind of content they wish to make, and it's no one else's business. If you want to watch it, you watch it. If you don't want to watch it, click off and go and watch something else. There's certainly no need to leave nasty comments.
Kind of stuff. The main reason I want to, there's a few other things I want to talk about, but the main reason I wanted to make this video is just really sort of state that that's not the case. It just really isn't. I don't feel I was taken advantage of in any way, shape, or form. I feel like this was 3 consenting adults.
You make it sound like you were making a adult movie with 3 consenting adults, but I totally agree with what he's saying here. Everyone involved was all in, and yeah, fair play.
Who all have YouTube channels, some significantly bigger than others.
And also, he's saying that he doesn't feel like he's been used or manipulated or anything like that. You have to take that into account. He was there. He spoke to Colin. He's seen the video. He knows exactly what has happened. And if he doesn't feel that he's been used or manipulated or anything like that, then he hasn't been.
Who wanted to get together and film a ghost hunt. That's it. That is it. That's it. It's nothing more than that. You may well disagree, but, you know, I said, I guess all said and done, I was there. Nothing happened during the night to lead me to kind of go, wait a minute, like I'm having the piss taken out of me, or I'm having the wool pulled over my eyes, or anything like that.
Exactly that. He was there. And that is why you should go and make videos with people you're accusing you're fake, because you're actually there. You can see it with your own eyes in person.
There really wasn't anything that I feel that way anyway. So when I read in Beardo's comment section that Colin, and people even come over to my comment section now and saying this, when they're like, oh, Colin took the piss out of you, Colin took advantage of you. I'm sorry, guys, I don't want to be a victim. I don't want anyone to think of me as a victim in any of this. That's not the reality of the situation.
And to be fair, having watched Beardo's video, I have watched Colin's video, and I have to say, I agree entirely with the side-eye guy here. I didn't see anything that said that Colin was taking the piss out of the side-eye guy. I didn't see any form of weaponization of working with the side-eye guy. Again, that all comes down to perspective, but I'm not involved, so I'm looking at it from a neutral point of view, and a wholly logical point of view. And yeah, I'm just not seeing it.
Here, I had the opportunity to film with Colin. I honestly don't really remember who approached who. I might have approached him, but he definitely came up with the location, because I said I was going to be in Nevada, and like, you know, if you're around, yeah, I think that's how it went. If you're around, let's film something together. And he,
to be fair, that shows a heck of a lot of character from the side-eye guy. The fact that he was in America, the fact that he reached out to Colin, as was said from Colin, they'd had a certain amount of animosity, shall we say, where the side-eye guy has taken the piss out of him and the family. I've not seen those videos, so I can't comment too much on it. But for then, for the side-eye guy to reach out to Colin and say, come along and we'll make something together, that shows an immense amount of character.
Came up with Nevada State Prison, because he's been there before. And we all just got together, had a good time, had a bite to eat, shook hands before we did the video, shot the video. You know, we all had a good time. Some people are sort of saying, oh.
And essentially, that's an important part of making YouTube videos, is you've got to enjoy doing it. So, yeah.
I don't like the way that Colin and Connor talk to say, I think I gave as good as I got.
There was a certain amount of banter, and yeah, I mean, it was just part of the video. It was mutual. It was taken as it was intended, in good humour. There was nothing nasty there.
In that moment, I certainly have given more than my fair share before filming that video with my other videos. It comes down to really exactly what I said at the beginning of my video, you know, my intro to the investigation, that I've made those videos about Colin. Colin took what I said on board. He did make some changes in his videos, which I have the utmost respect for. There's very few other ghost hunters that have done that. And him and I got chatting a bit more and said, let's film a video together.
Completely fair enough.
And if I said no to that, I would have felt like a coward. It just wouldn't have felt right to me. It wouldn't.
To be fair, like, I completely agree here. If you have the opportunity to go and work with a channel you're accusing of being fake, obviously the side-eye guy says that he would have felt like a coward, but for me it shows credibility. If a debunker refuses, and this isn't a dig Beardo here, because obviously he's got his own reasons, but in general, if a debunker refuses to go and work with the channel they've accused of being fake, it lowers their credibility. Like, why are you refusing to go and see this channel in action, where you can debunk that channel in person, where you're seeing things with your own eyes? For me, what Side-Eye Guy has done here, by going to work with the Paranormal Files, who he previously has accused of being fake and has debunked them, and they've had a bit of argy-bargy, it really heightens his credibility by taking the opportunity to go and work with them and see them in action and make a video with them.
It felt right to take the piss out of someone and mock them and question their ethics and question a lot of their honesty with the channel. And when they turn around to me and says, hey, come check us out, see for yourself. And if I just say no to that, it wouldn't have felt right. I wouldn't.
Exactly that. Exactly that. It's something that has, for me, it's increased the Side-Eye Guy's credibility to the point where I can get over this mask. And if he'd refused that, how credible are you? Like, you're given an opportunity to go and see them make one of their videos and take part in that, and you refuse to do it. For me, that lowers your credibility as a debunker.
That felt right. I have no regrets about making that. I also see a lot in Beardo's comment section, people saying things like, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe from Side-Eye Guy. Please, guys, I actually encourage you, do it. Unsubscribe from me if that is your attitude.
It's funny that people saying, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe from you because of a video that you've made. It was sort of as a threat. Like, it's not really a threat. If you want to unsubscribe, unsubscribe. It's no big deal. What we want as creators are people that are going to watch and enjoy our videos and be positive about those videos. We want genuine viewers. If you're just in the community of any content creators' videos and you're there just to cause havoc or try and manipulate or force an issue or whatever it is you try to do, you're not welcome. You're just not welcome. If you're literally only subscribing to be nasty or whatever, right? If you're there for any other reason than to enjoy the content, unsubscribe. You won't be missed.
If you can't handle me doing something that you don't like or you disagree with or you have issue with, you might as well unsubscribe today, because at some point down the line, it's going to happen again. So you either...
Which he's entitled to do. It's his channel. It's his content. He can do whatever he wants with it. And it's not for anyone else, not me, not anyone in the comments, not Beardo or anyone else to say otherwise. It's his channel. He will make the content he wants to make. The same as Beardo makes the content he wants to make. I make the content I want to make. Okay, this is my second channel. It's new, and I've only just decided what I'm going to do with this channel. Right, so it is very small, but ultimately, it's down to the content creator to decide what videos they want to make and post, and who they want to work with.
So unsubscribe for me today, or you unsubscribe for me at some other point down the line. Because if I want to do a video like this, I will do a video like this. I've already stated in that investigation video I did with Colin that I've got one rule when it comes to collaborations. I've got to like the person that I'm collaborating with.
And that is perfect. And obviously, if you don't like the person you're going to collaborate with, then that will show through in the video. So again, that's perfectly fair enough. Absolutely.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And I think there's a really big issue if we are going to have this attitude within the debunking community that it's us versus them.
Yeah, I have seen that in the community. It does appear to be debunkers versus investigators, when really the two communities go hand in hand. One can't exist without the other, and the two communities should come together. The investigation side should embrace debunkers because it helps them make more genuine and compelling videos, and the debunkers side should embrace the investigator side. Most debunkers that I've seen actually want to experience something paranormal, something that is unexplainable. So the two working together, it would be perfect.
I don't like this. I can make a video about, if as long as I get along with the person, I will do a video with anyone who I think I will enjoy spending an evening or a night with. I did all of this with Dawson Toller. That's what I find crazy about.
I don't know Dawson Toller, so
a lot of this. This is kind of history repeating itself, because I made a video about Dawson and Nightmare Nation. Nightmare Nation as well, of course. And
imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I don't think I outright called it fake, but I very heavily insinuated it. And then, again, they asked if I wanted to do a video with them, or I asked them, again, I can't remember, it was a long time ago. And they said yes. I respected their strength of character to do that, and we're friends now. And at the time, a lot of people had issues with Dawson, especially because he made the response video to me. And now a lot of people are like kind of come full circle around Dawson and like him. It seems like Beardo doesn't really like him, but that's got nothing to do with me. That's between Dawson and Beardo. I got to admit, I think it's a little bit unnecessary calling him clueless, but whatever. Dawson can fight his own battles, much like this isn't me defending Colin.
Beardo has released another video since this where he, I think it was Dawson he was talking about, where he apologized for making that comment. And so fair play to Beardo for that.
Colin can very much defend himself. He's got a huge platform. He does not need me sticking up for him. So that's not what this is about. This is about me explaining some of the things that I found a bit frustrating between that video and especially the comment section, where people, I do believe, have kind of misrepresented my intentions behind this collaboration. And honestly, I don't even know what the intentions really were, all said and done. It was just, I got along with someone, I wanted to film a video with them and just see what it was about. You know, see what it's about. Anyway, I feel like I've rambled long enough here. I don't, like I say, this isn't a hate video. It's not me versus Beardo kind of thing. I'll be honest with you, I do find it, if you would have said to me, you know, several months ago that I'll be making this kind of video about Beardo of all people, I wouldn't have believed you. But The one thing I want to finish this whole thing off with is actually a video. I'm going to take a clip here. I'm going to cut and paste a clip from a video I made 11 months ago. Amy's Crypt did a collaboration with Chris Starr. And this is what I said.
I think I've made it pretty clear how I feel about the direction Amy and Jared have taken their channel. All said and done, they can do what they want, and I'm sure they knew they were going to get backlash after announcing these collaborations. But I would like to take this opportunity to say that I am also in talks with other channels to collaborate with them. Some of these channels may also be controversial. So much like Amy and Jared, I will be expecting backlash. But I will say the difference between my channel and theirs, I make dick and fart jokes. I shouldn't be the gold standard of paranormal investigations. I'm not even really a paranormal investigator. I am a debunker. I'm well aware that Beardo has his own rules on who he would and would not collaborate with, and that's great.
Colin makes an offer, and it's an offer I won't be accepting, Colin. And I'll explain why, and I won't be rude about it. In fact, I will be in England next month. I would be more than happy to join you for an investigation at a place of your choosing if you like. I'm all about transparency. No.
But for me, if a channel approaches me who is questionable and they want to collaborate with me, then I personally believe that shows a lot of character. I also believe that if we want debunkers and ghost hunters to close the gap, then we need to be more open with collaborations. But when all is said and done, I am only going to do this with people I actually get along with.
Absolutely perfect. At the end of the day, Beardo can do whatever he chooses to do. He chooses not to work with channels that he accuses of being fake, which is Beardo's choice. You have to respect him for that. Obviously, I've expressed my views on it. And the side-eye guy has his view on what he should do. And that's, again, his choice. And it happens to align with what I believe. That doesn't mean to say I'm right. At no point of what I said am I saying that I'm right. At the end of the day, everyone has their own opinions, has their own thoughts. I respect Beardo massively. I enjoy his content for the most part. I do think he goes a bit close to the line sometimes with the substance, specifically in this case, the substance abuse with Colin. I do think that was a low blow, and I do think he should apologise for that, because I just think, regardless of what you think of a person, those sort of struggles, particularly when you're putting it out on YouTube as well, where many of your own audience could be facing those same struggles, to use that to belittle Colin, you're also belittling members of your own community that are having the same issues. So honestly, Beardo, if you watch this, I truly respect you. I enjoy your content. I've told you I'm going to make this video as well. Out of everything, that's the one thing that I think you should apologise for, because it was a low hit. A really low hit.
I will not be spending a whole night with utter twats. As long as they can have a laugh and I think I can have a laugh, then I'm down. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on AB's collaborations with Kelsey and Chris, and also my own collaborations that I'm in talks about.
So all said and done here, guys, it shouldn't really come to a big surprise that I've done this. I've had this kind of point of view for quite some time now. If this is something that really, really upsets you and really triggers you, and we can't come to at least a level of compromise, if this is something like you will not feel you can compromise on or anything like that, then I don't know what to tell you, because I disagree. All said and done, I disagree with that. So like I said, guys, this isn't a video about me spreading any kind of more anger or negativity out on YouTube about this subject matter. I've got a video. My next video coming out will be a reaction to when Colin and Connor first went to Nevada State Prison. I'm really happy. The people I've showed that to and like got their opinions on are very happy with it. They think it's very funny. I think it's a very funny video. I think you'll see in that video that I'm not playing favorites as much as Colin probably wishes I was. I'm not playing favorites by any stretch. I give the exact same energy to Colin, the same as what it was before, from before I met him to after I met him. And he told me that's kind of what he wants. He doesn't want special treatment himself. So I think that's...
So that is completely fair enough. There's not much more I can say to that. So to sum up, it's an interesting exchange. I find it interesting, both on a psychological level, body language level, and the issue itself. This isn't Beardo versus Side Eye Guy. It's Beardo sharing his point of view on Colin's video and primarily what Colin was saying about it. And it's the Side Eye Guy's giving his point of view as to why he did it. Both of them valid. Both of them absolutely fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. And as I've said a couple of times, the only real issue for me is Beardo's comment on Colin's rehab. I just think that was a low blow, and out of everything, that's the one thing that he should address and apologise for. But that all being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe. And yeah, it was an interesting one. I do hope that neither of the Side Eye Guy, Colin, or Beardo takes offence. The links to all the videos will be in the description below. So that all being said, I'll see you again in the next one.